1896, Henri Becquerel used a mineral called uranium salt, also known as potassium urea sulfate, to wrap a photographic plate in black paper so that the sunlight couldn't reach them, and then place the uranium salt on top. However, after some days, the sky was cloudy, so he stored everything in a drawer in a complete darkness. Henri Becquerel found that the rays were emanating from the minerals and penetrated the black paper and caused fogging of the unexpected photographic plate. After some days, when he withdrew it from the drawer, this was the birth of radioactivity. But before we get into it, please remember to subscribe to this channel, and it will mean a lot to us. So what is radioactivity? Radioactivity is the process by which unexpected atomic nuclei break down or decay to release energy in a form of radiation. Radiation can come from different parts of the atom, so we divide it into two main types: electronic radiation and nuclear radiation. Electronic radiation comes from the electrons in an atom. This includes visible light, infrared radiation, ultraviolet rays, X-rays, microwaves, and radio waves. Nuclear radiation, on the other hand, comes from the nucleus of an unstable atom, and there are three main types: alpha radiation, beta radiation, and gamma radiation. Marie became the first woman to win Nobel Prize, but not knowing she was dying slowly. Marie Curie and Pierre Curie married and formed one of history's most famous scientific partners. They studied uranium salt and Henri Becquerel findings on radioactivity, and by using careful experiments, they discovered two new elements: polonium and radium. After their discovery, Marie Curie coined the term radioactivity to describe the emission of energy from an unstable atom. Sadly, on July 4th, 1904, Marie Curie died from aplastic anemia, a condition in which the bone marrow stops producing enough blood cells. This was caused by the prolonged exposure to radiation during her research. At the time, the dangers of handling radioactive materials were not fully understood, and she often worked with radium and polonium with no protective gear. So how does the radiation happen? Let's break it down. Every atom has nucleus made up of protons and neutrons. Most atoms are stable. However, some atoms have too many protons or neutrons, makes them unstable. So they try to break down in order to be stable. In that process of doing that, they release energy which comes in the form of radiation. Radioactivity isn't just dangerous, it has many useful applications used in cancer treatment, nuclear power plants, steady atomic structure, and many more. However, radioactivity can also be very dangerous if not controlled properly. In April 1986, a nuclear power plant in Chernobyl, Ukraine, suffered a catastrophic meltdown. During a safety test, reactors overheated, causing explosions and massive release of radioactive material into the atmosphere. Nearby towns were evacuated. The radiation contaminated land, water, and air for decades. Hundreds of thousands of people were affected, and the site remains highly radioactive even today. Chernobyl became a harsh reminder of power and danger of radioactivity. The discovery of radioactivity has benefited us greatly, but let's also remember it poses a great risk to our life.